Welcome back YouTube, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. 22K here, and we've got some events to talk about. I know I'm way behind the curve of this. Cardiff market, Cardiff gaming market, first one we did there, and we also had the Black Country gaming market fair. So much going, it's just been busy. Busy from a work perspective. I was starting a new job, sort of way out my comfort zone, but also just with the markets, they've just been back to back, and this is the break, 3rd of November, and then we've got London after that, and then there's a break, and then there's Doncaster. So it's the first sort of weekend off, if you like, without anything going on. So yeah, been pretty hectic, hence lack of videos. So we're here now anyway, so let's get cracking, crack-a-lacking. Cardiff was great success. Smaller venue, never been to Cardiff before. I think it's only the second time it's been there. Utilitalia Arena or somewhere like that. I don't know Cardiff. I think there's only the second time I've ever been to Wales. The first time that was to a place called Donemock, that's North Wales. It was with a school, and I was like about 13 or 14 or something. So yeah, I mean, even though we went to Wales, I didn't really see much of Wales because we were stuck in this arena. But from a selling perspective, really good. Really good. I was really surprised. You know, I'd heard people say that the Welsh was tight as the Northerners, but that wasn't the case, and it was kind of mid-month as well, which is really unusual. Because I say, anywhere up north, Midlands up north, you start doing stuff in the middle of the month, no focus spending anything. But that wasn't the case with Cardiff. I say, did really well. Probably helped that there was less traders there. A few people dropped out as well, so it meant that we could sort of spread out. I think Daz had his own sort of table area, and I just consumed the area that we had. So it really allowed us to sort of spread our wings a bit. Fob had a bit extra space as well, so yeah, it played to our advantage, I'm not going to lie, and at no extra cost, which is really good. I did meet two people. One chap just basically said he just watched, didn't sort of say commented, and another guy, Dave, Welsh GameCube collector. I'm sure he said his name. That was his name, because I did write it down. He said I'll forget, but I didn't. Dave, Welsh GameCube collector. It's on my phone, so I can't even check it, but I'm sure that's what it was. But he very kindly gave me a bag of stuff, and he said, essentially, look, if these are any good to anybody you know or whatever, then feel free to dish them out. I did have a quick look. There's some really nice items in here. There's a few bits I'll just keep. Microcosm and the Mega CD, big box. A nice Game Gear Sonic manual. Some nice N64 manuals here. Whyalla Country Golf. Is that Turok? Was that Turok Rage Wars? A funky N64 guide, which looked to be come from the official Nintendo magazine. So like a preview looking forward. And then some really nice Atari Jaguar boxes here. I think Lewis Wishwash is the only guy I know that collects for Atari. The Jag. I mean, I've got a Jag, but I've got a game drive, so I never really collected for it. Club Drive. I mean, these are all lovely, flat packed. Pitfall, great game. Ruiner Pinball. Can't say I've ever played much of that. Fever Pitch Soccer. And Attack of the Mutant Penguins. So Dave, Welsh GameCube collector. I'm sure that's what he said his name was. Many thanks, brother. These will find homes. I mean, a lot of these will just go into my sort of stash pile, if you like, because you never know where you're going to come across stuff. Always useful, always useful. So really, really do appreciate that. I didn't buy anything from Cardiff. Next door is a Comic-Con. I just wandered through anyway, because my daughter's really into comics, not Marvel, DC stuff. Is what she's into, like Batman and Green Lantern and something else. Not Robin. What's his name? The other guy that's Robin. Oh, fucking, I can't remember. She sends me all this stuff to look for. I just get all confused. I just have to ask the people, and they look confused as well. I can't know what Robin's name is now. It's called something else. It's not called Robin. It's been a long couple of weeks. been a long couple of weeks. Anyway, so I didn't even spend any money there, thank God, because I thought that would be a fucking sinkhole. But no, I didn't buy anything else other than the gifts from Dave. So yeah, Cardiff was like a sort of nice, just get some money in the pocket kind of event. And I say met the two people there. I can't remember the chap's name, but I don't think he even told me his name. I think I did ask. Maybe it was a Daz or a Dave again. I can't remember. That other guy who gave me there was definitely Dave, Welsh Game Collector. So anyway, all the Welsh guys, many thanks. We'll probably be back there if it's on next year. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be, but you know, things change, don't they? So anyway, look, we'll have to move swiftly on, so to speak, to the Black Country gaming market. Ant and Dana, Ant and Deck. Held in a different place. Held in a different place to the previous years. This one didn't leak. The roof didn't leak. There wasn't crap everywhere. It didn't fall through the floor. The ceiling wasn't caving in. You could go to the toilet, but it was a bit dark. I love a fucking moan. I am getting worse. I know I'm getting worse. I'm worse when I'm not very well. I wasn't great. I haven't been great for a couple of weeks, which you all know about anyway. I don't know if it's all part of something else. I don't know. Dana, after Nottingham, I mean, he was rough as fucking bet. He's been rough for weeks and weeks. So I don't know if it's just something that's just been going round and I've picked it up and give it to somebody else or whatever. I don't fucking know. But at the tail end of it, I weren't feeling great, so I was even more fucking miserable and moany than usual. But the venue itself, as a venue, was really good. I say it's just a very poor lighting. I'm not a fan of the sort of compare type thing. They have this at Nottingham Gaming Expo. It just gives me a fucking headache. I'm hard of hearing anyway. So trying to then shout and listen to people and try and focus in the dark, I think I just end up with a fucking migraine or some shit. As long as not feeling very well. So all fucking piled in. It was just like, from a health perspective, feeling like shit. From a sort of seller perspective, it was okay. It was okay. Probably not as good as the last one that they had at the last archery centre in terms of sales, but to be honest, the stuff I took, and this is where it differentiates it a little bit. The stuff I took to this one was quite low end. I have to be said. There was a few lot tubs that I had sort of okay-ish, middle of the road games in there, and some expensive ones. But on the whole, if anyone was there, you'll see I had like about 2.5 tables, 1.5 tables, Stu, of like 50p games, just tut. But useful to somebody, you know, like the 360, PS2, and the Wii, and PS3, and it was just 50p a game, and the people were loving it. And it cleared a lot of the sort of the fodder out for me. And people got a bargain. You know, some guy said, "I'll go to the car boots. It's just cheaper than the car boot." It is, mate. It is. Fill another fucking bag up. So it was good for that. It was really good for that. And like I say, the money that I made compared to what I took, I can't really argue. So it was probably better value for money for me, if that makes sense. I see some new people not met before. We've seen Sean from the Pompey's Games Room. Finally met Sean. Nice to see Sean. Had a very brief chat with him. I don't think I've seen him again. And then I've seen Steve, Cooper's World. Never met Steve before. I actually had a decent chat with Steve because he came back when it quietened down. And I always said to people, you know, if you want to hang around, you know, go out, get something to eat, get coffee or whatever, then come back a little bit later when it quietens down. And unfortunately, we've been spoiled with some of the sort of bigger markets, I suppose, because they do the sort of the door staggered entry, so you get like a nice flow of people. And obviously, look, the bigger events, they're sort of advertised nationally or whatever, so there tends to be a bigger footfall. You know, that's no slight on Dana on that they know this, and they're still growing. And this is bigger than the previous one, so they're only going in the right direction. But by about 1:30, 2 o'clock, it did the old school work we used to do at Doncaster, where it just goes dead, and then it gets a bit of a grind and a bit of a slog. So I think we all, I think it was due to finish at 3. I want to say 3, or was it 3 o'clock? I think it's 10 till 3. But I think we were like packing up by just after 2 o'clock, half 2-ish sort of time, because there's no point. But yeah, from a sort of I can't remember what I was talking about now. I met Steve Cooper as well. Spoke to Steve, yeah, because it had gone quiet. Nice to see Steve. So there was a couple of other people that we met as well. Chris, he said he watches. I think his shop was called Contour Consoles. I think I've seen it on the back of his t-shirt. But he had a load of plushes and stuff. I mean, that guy cleared his table. That's amazing to see. But he gifted me loads of stuff. It was fucking awesome. Really nice guy. What else do we see? We see Sean, Retro Games Revive with his daughter. She was stalling that. She sold better than him. He was selling specky. So I had some 8-bit stuff, man. No fucker wants to buy 8-bit stuff. I tried to sell my boxes of stuff to Sean because obviously he's doing his eBay thing for the Porsche that is never going to be now. The Porsche's turned into a wedding car for his daughter, apparently. But he weren't biting. So I don't think I'm ever going to take any 8-bit stuff to a market again. Like in terms of the games, it's just really not worth it. I thought if anywhere someone would buy someone, it would probably be there because of Ant's sort of connection. But apparently he didn't sell a great deal either. Sean probably sold more than me, which I was gutted about because Sean was in the corner and it's fucking pitch black. Bless him. But what else was there? Eddie and Dylan was stalling that. I got a thanks from Dylan in a minute. I want to show you what we managed to bag. So I did get some nice bits from this market, I must admit. And it was a nice social. It's always a good social event. I think Dana said there was meant to be some food on and they got let down with that. But again, it's all working all these kinks and ironing out all the little bumps in the road, isn't it? And I'm sure they'll get there. They just need to get some floodlights in there, that's all. And it will be golden. I'll start off with the gifts. So very kindly, I mentioned this in the last vid, about fucking 2 months ago. Few people very kindly offered to ping me one of these across. Thanks to everybody. I think Dylan was the first one. He said, I'll bring it to Black Country. And it's the American Super Nintendo pad for the box that I got off Craig Goodwin's place. So many thanks to Dylan for that. Huge thanks. That will go in the box, never to be used or played with ever again, but it will find its rightful place. Then I say some gifts. So off Chris. So Chris, if you're watching, buddy, thanks, man. He gifted us all one of these. So he had, and this is the story he told us, he had a mate who was decommissioning the Toys R Us store around the Black Country area, and basically they sort of said, do what you will with the contents. And he had like all the stuff that was in there. So it was all like bags. He gave us a load of bags that we can use to just put your games in, like little carrier bags. Fucking everything. But he had some tops, t-shirts. So he very kindly gave each of us a Toys R Us t-shirt. Toys R Us squad. I call it Toys R Us because that's what my eldest always called it when she was little. Come go to Toys R Us, or rather than Toys R Us. So it's a big FFB size because it has to be to fit me. It's got Toys R Us at the back, so that is awesome. I mean, I'll probably wear it to an event just to look like a right knobhead. So that was the first thing he could drop something now. Right, that was the first thing. Then the next thing, when he was packing up, because I think he wanted to get rid of this, he had 2 of these, and he said, look, do you want this? It's got no game in it. I said, what size is the t-shirt? I think it's a Fat Bastard t-shirt size as well. So I said, yeah, it's a t-shirt. I mean, it's Forza, but it wasn't for that. It's just because it's got the t-shirt in it. So we can get rid of the box. But it's a Forza t-shirt. 10 years of Forza. Xbox One. Forza Motorsport 6. There you go, look. So, just another t-shirt. I'll probably do the painting in that or something, or wipe my ass with it. No, fucking Xbox. And then the last thing, one of these. He chucked me one of these early doors, and I was like, what the fuck is that? He said, well, open it. I said, no, you know what? I'll open it on camera, and that's what I'm going to do. So it's not been opened. I have no idea what's in it. It looks like some animals. So we'll do this live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Okay. So what we have in here, oh cool. We have, I think he was selling all of these. These are nice. These are nice. So we've got a proper moulded Donkey Kong. That is even really fucking good. Dude, man. We've got Bowser. These are nice. They're not like empty plastic. The old gang's here. Yoshi! Chris, man, thank you, brother. These are super cool. They might fit on my shelf because they're small enough to fit on the end of my shelves. There's something else on the end of my shelf. We've got old mate fucking Mario. I mean, these obviously, like, they're not official Nintendo because that's why they come in this box. There's like some Chinese copies, but fuck me, they're good copies. These look legit. Nice little statues. Just, you know, just like addendums to your collection. But I do like DK and I like Bowser. I mean, obviously there's the size difference, but they are wicked. Chris, man, thank you so much for them. Thank you. Yeah, I think he was knocking these out. He must have, I say his table was nearly empty at the end of the day. So he must have been going great guns. Console Couture or Console Couture. I'm sure that's what it is after his t-shirt. It's like Bubble Bobble font. Right, there's more. Right, from Sean, Retro Games Revived. He had this, and I've seen this before, and I got it confused with, and I can't remember who was I speaking to, James, Retro Import Gamer. And I said, I thought it was the Wu-Tang controller. It's not, but it is an ASCII where it's an official. So ASCII and Mad Cats, they were like Sony. They officially let them license peripherals, and it's kind of like, I don't know what you call it, like a fucking boomerang controller or whatever. But £3 on that, I was like, you know what? I'll have that. I like a quirky little control, especially for PlayStation. ASCII control, but it's not the Wu-Tang one. Although it does look, I think it's more like that way around, isn't it? The Wu-Tang style. I can't remember. I'm not into that fucking rap crap hip hop bullshit. No, I'm not really into music, to be honest. Full stop. I just like what I like. But that's from Sean. Retro Games £3 to the wedding fund, Sean. £3 to the wedding. He wouldn't buy me fucking 8-bits. Did I mention that? Tried to sell him all me 2 crates of 8-bit fucking tut. Fucking bag, £200. I said to him, fucking 200. I'll sell them on eBay, you fucker. That'll learn you. Right. What else did we get? We seen the bears. So one for the collection to go on the shelf. I think the new style, new colourway. We've got the yellow bear, so we'll stick that one up there. I don't know where, my purple one's up there. I have to move the purple one, stick them in the little gaps here. Will he fit in the gap? No, he's too big. Then I did a swap, a trade, a deal with Ant for some specky shit thing, ZX amplifier or something. He said it's worth about £15. I said, look, give me some off your store for a tenner. He didn't have anything, I wanted for a tenner. Dana did, so he owes Dana a tenner. But just an Atari game I didn't have. Like I say, I'm just at anything I could swap for anything I ain't got. Skateboarding, I've seen this knocking about. It is missing the tray. It is missing the tray, but I can make the trays, this bit of cardboard. Use an existing one as a template and just cut and fold it, and you can make a nice little tray that'll go in there anyway. It's on this Absolute label. There's been quite a few of those games, but yeah, that's all right. Don't need much of a fettle, to be honest. It's all there. I'm not going to mess too much with it. I say I'll make the tray, and that'll be another one to stick on the pile. And then with Eddie, young Eddie, the old rug muncher. Anybody that was there would have maybe seen Eddie's rugs that he's making. I think they look really cool. I thought he was bullshitting me. So I could never tell with Eddie if he's telling the truth or not. Me, I'm terrible. I haven't got a poker face at all. So I couldn't tell if he was telling me the truth. So I stood there. We had a conversation for about, I don't know, 20 minutes. Discussing these rugs. And I was like, no, you're bullshitting me. This is not right. You bought these from China, you know. Or you got someone to make them or whatever. And then he actually showed me how he was doing it. Because he said, I'll use a gun. I'm like, don't use a gun to make a rug. And I had images of it like I don't know why, sort of firing the fabric and it as a gun, like he glue it like a foam gun. And he's like, no, and he showed me it. So, and obviously he's discussed it in his video now anyway. But they are really cool. And I'm glad he sold, I think he sold them all. I can't remember. He definitely sold the Kirby one. And I'm glad he did, because I like it when people add value to something. You know, like with my mate Rob, who does the signs and stuff like that. It's something different. I think he said he's going to be at Doncaster, so he literally just have a fucking stall of rugs. So did he float? Did he point to Mecca? We don't do politics on this channel. We definitely shouldn't do religion either. Anyway, so off Eddie, we kind of did a trade. I think I still owe him some money. He had something off me, which you see in his video, and I had these couple of games off of him. I got Ramner and a Half, which I think is a different game to the Super Nintendo one. Oh, this is PC Engine, by the way. So the Super Nintendo one is a one-on-one beat 'em up. This looks like a side-scrolling kick shit out of them with some nice cutscenes. He says he's getting rid of these because he didn't have any space, but I don't know about that. They're only CDs. But again, just a couple I didn't have. Now, this one is an RPG. You ain't going to be able to fucking play it. But I use a site, I've mentioned this before, the site called PC Engine Bible. It's just not in-depth. And not every single game is, like, reviewed. But it does give you a synopsis of what the type of game is and stuff. And I remember seeing this one on there. It did sort of say it's got some fantastic cutscenes. And it's Emerald Dragon. It's just, like I say, is it 2-discer? No. It's a 1-discer. It's got a nice map at the back. And stuff. But yes, Super CD-ROM. But yeah, it's an RPG. You're not going to be able to fucking play it. But again, for just swapping for stuff that I've already got, I'd do that all day long. If someone wanted to come along and just do swaps for the whole fucking day, then yeah, you know, for stuff I fucking want, obviously. I don't want all your fucking 360 PS3 shit. Right, and then from Mark Jowett, I want to say formerly known as Sega Mags. I think he is changing the name to something like the Retro News Agent or something like that. I don't know. The Retro News Agent featuring Sega Mag. He had these stashed at the back and had a a cheeky little look. I told myself I weren't going to buy these ones. There's a couple of them. I think there's about 10 extra, and I weren't going to buy them. And he had them there, and I was like, fucking hell. And when he said the price, I mean, Mark does a fantastic price on them. I mean, the reason why I've not bought anything is because what I need from magazines now is really limited. So just so happened that these were like new stock, so I sort of got in there first, which is probably why I was still there. But there's 10 of these extra from the first 12. So this is basically turned into Sega Power. So this is the S magazine. Now there's only about 10 of them that ended up with the S in the corner. I'm sure it's 10. Up to about issue 22, I think. Yeah, 22 because it's 12 and it's 10. So I've got to try and hunt these down. It's just a little side quest because I'm just stupid and it's like not like I've got enough fucking old paper. But I mean, they do tend, especially still here, they tend to still keep the same style as the S magazine. The paper's slightly different. It's a bit more coarser. But yeah, like it tells you, like they swapped it over from the S magazine. But because it's called Sega Power, I kind of like limited myself just to the S magazine. But then I seen that and I was like, oh man. And they had 3 of them. We've got 13, 15, 17. So I was still like missing 7. So yeah, again, little side thing. Like I've got enough to do. Then they had a couple of CVGs. Now, I didn't have a proper list. I had an oldish one, which I thought was still pretty accurate. Turns out I've got one of these. So I'll probably just give him this one back, to be honest. But the one that I did need is, and I don't know if it's got the Go, it has got the Go magazine inside. It is issue 137 from April 1993 with Superman on the front. So we did a load of these with Go. And Go was when handhelds was coming out. So yeah, a bit of Universal Soldier there. Unisol on the Game Boy. And and a Sewer Shark poster from the Mega CD. But that's quite a nice cover, isn't it? Superman on the front. The one I did have, so I can't remember this. I mean, we're going back like decades here. This is July '96. Something must have happened in '96 because I've got very few magazines from '96. Generally, for CVG, I always ended up with about half the year. I don't know why. It was just what's going on. But for '96, I ended up with very few. Lo and behold, I thought I needed this one, but I didn't. Attack of the Killer Games. But again, I'll check the condition of mine. And if it's any better, I'll swap it. If not, I'll just put this back to Mark. Because to be honest, £3 for these, fucking bargain. It's ridiculously cheap. So that would have been nearly it. And then Dainster, fucking Dainster. As you know, he's got the shop. So inevitably, his collection has gone into stock. It's kind of, and Ant's going that way as well. It's just been a matter of time for everything's in that shop. And I get it. It's what they do. It's their livelihood, and they enjoy doing it. It's like having the stuff on rental, and then you move it on. But he had this thing, and he did promise me, and I always said to him, so if you sell that, let me have first dibs. And he did. He brought it along, and he wafted it at me as much as you could waft this at anybody. And I was like, how much? He told me a price. I'm not going to disclose it here. And it was good mates rates. Still not cheap, but still mates rates. And I thought, I didn't have any money at this point. This is like at the start. I said, look, I'll come and buy it at the end. Don't fucking sell it. Because I had to put it on the never on the card. That's why I have to do these markets, because I've got to feed the addiction. It's like a fucking crack addict with a fucking twitch. I've got nowhere to put it. I know where to put it. I know I have nowhere to put it. But I knew if I didn't buy this, the chance of me finding another one at this price, in this condition, is probably next to nothing. I remember Dana got this years ago. He showed me his local Facebook marketplace book. I think he paid about £50 for it. That's by the by. That's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Because I remember at the time, I think that's a fucking nice buy. Well done there. And I don't think I was even going for the full box set. I think I was just going to loose cart. So I wasn't overly fussed. Because I remember saying to him, if you sell me the cart out of it. Anyway, that's being said. What it means is, from my NES set, I only need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, realistically. There's one stack up, which is going to be a couple of grand. I mean, the other games, there's probably one in there, Aladdin, that I could probably realistically buy without fucking remortgaging or fucking selling a kidney or something, or any other vital organ. But this one was always one that I'd kind of just written off. So off of me mate Dana, my good mate Dainster, done me a solid. I think, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. Piano. It's all in there. I'm not going to fucking bore you. There's no way I'm opening it up again. Box-wise, it's in quite nice condition. It needs a few little bits of fettling on the end. Again, not going to bore you with that. A little bit of gluing and sticking, but it's neither here nor there, realistically, in the grand scheme of things. So, although I'm really happy to get it, can I find somewhere to put it? It ain't going to the stairs, that's for sure. I just don't know where I'm going to put it, where it's going to be safe as well. So I'll tart it up, and then I'll just have to bubble wrap it to stash it until such point as someone moves out the house and I can steal the second room. That's what I think is going to have to happen. Anyway, look, we're at 30 minutes. That's more than enough. The last thing, and this is important. This bit's important. So just let me get this right. So a group of YouTubers. We're on the 3rd of November today, right? So keep this in mind to when you watch this video. I'll put the links down below. They did a 24-hour live stream which ended today at 12 o'clock. I've linked it down, but it's called the Turb Titans. Sort of led, I suppose, organised, that's probably that word, by Gordo, Gib84 Gaming. A load of YouTubers are there, all went up to Scotland, bless them, went north of the wall. Did 24 hours, people donated stuff for prizes. You chucked a tenner in, your name on a wheel, yeah, and you won whatever it was. I actually managed to win something really fucking cool. I'm not going to lie. I was so glad it was this morning and not very many people bid on it, because I think I got a fucking right bargain. I mean, I bid on all the other stuff as well, and I didn't win shit. Again, go back and watch the stream. Hopefully, if any of them are watching this, I don't know if they do, if one of them could edit like the sort of the bits out, because the sort of draws are quite nice, and there's a bit where Big Game Al wins something, and that's a great watch. But yeah, there was some absolutely fantastic prizes. I kind of only wanted to bid on stuff that I wanted, if that made sense, because I didn't want to just win something that I don't really want or had no need for. But I think I got probably one of the better prizes. I really do. But it's like I say, I'm just reading here. It's a Turb Titans 24-hour gaming live stream, right? The Just Giving page is still open. What I'll say, right, and I know I keep banging on about this, and there's probably some of you that do watch that do this. If you're giving any of these shills £5 a month to be in their gang or their fucking club or whatever, or they fucking get your name on the end of the video or get a super chat or whatever, do us a favour, right? Do us a favour. Don't fucking give it to them for 2 months. Tenner, or whatever it is. Give a tenner to these fucking guys. A proper fucking charity. And it's not like a big one like British Art Foundation, which just goes to a fucking stinking chief exec, you don't see them in it. This is like for kids at a fucking hospital. If the fuckers that you give money to each month can't stomach losing a £5 or a tenner for a couple of months, then they ain't fucking worth watching and giving you money to, are they? So do me a solid, all right? And I don't ask a lot of any years at all, you know that. But chuck a couple of quid, like even if you can just a quid, all right? Pop over down there, chuck a quid in. You can edit it so you don't just giving any extra money. You can actually change a donation. I didn't like that when they try to force you to give them extra money. I'll do custom amount, fuck off, nothing. 10 quid to these guys. I had a couple of, probably about 50 quid. I donated some shit. Claire came round at the Black Country event, and Ant did as well, give Ant some stuff for his raffle prize. And I said, look, take what you want, kind of thing. But anyway, that's by the by. But what I'm saying is, if you can watch this video, if you've got a couple of quid, even if it's like £2, £1, £2, £3, whatever it is, and if you're one of these fucking schmucks that gives these chills money, just don't give it for 2 months. Give it to these guys. You'll feel better for it. Karma, the universe will fucking thank you for it. I'll thank you for it. Gordo and the team will thank you for it. And then poor fucking kids will thank you for it as well. Right. Rant over. London next. I'll try and get this video out before London, and hopefully I'll see some of you at London. Take it easy, YouTube, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.